Finally, Stonebwoy akasa at the afa event clash and net UK wa expose the three promoters are almost sabotaging, especially Dennis of Akwaaba, UK.
Charlie said, "Oh, it was not. Let me just let it out over here at once, bro, because the world must know sometimes. You feel me?" So it was. His talk was like a year ago.
Vimbas.
On the same second general, because the British High Commission does soiree, you know. So a year ago, he said I had disrespected him, you know, that way. And I'm like, how? Okay. Me, Stonebwoy, Small God, and a few in the Small God was with me, toe to toe, at that British High Commissioner event. I was having a conversation with the ambassador and a few people. You know, Stonebwoy goes into a space and his photo sessions, so I hardly go out. So whilst we were about it, somebody tapped me and, you know, I attend. That was another guy we know, Frankie. Frankie says, "Oh, Akwaaba is calling you." Akwaaba says, "Come." But I was speaking with
two other people,
the ambassador and his people.
High Commissioner.
So I'm like, take it easy. Like, you know that thing, you know? And then he tried hold me up again to it. Very, very weird and uncomfortable. Small God now my witness now. So even him was like, so we just be like, okay, fine. I felt a certain way. I felt some kind of way. You know, I felt like I was being put to a test to try to see whether, but I know now. I know it's your Akwaaba. Yes, let me finish with the ambassador now. We're here now. We'll come and Frankie, you know that too.
Obviously, Stonebwoy is not a type that talks. Just say, that is the brand we know for him. Now, so for once, Wababe break it down what is happening and the main reason why Akwaaba UK, who is Dennis Alodia promotion, West Coast promotion, are sabotaging him in the UK. Oko PMO at DSOP podcast, as known as the Afro Beat podcast, and I just can drink in a very respectable way. I just say, not only Dennis of Akwaaba UK had an encounter. I just say, Omushia event be as na Dennis person no Stonebwoy ebe chiano ema Dennis a small be some friend while he was talking to the UK High Commissioner. Now Stonebwoy say anyane de ema after the event no of voice out in displeasure. On that, Dennis were disrespecting or punishing or see even that crowd they met to trash things out. Now with their dates clashing, no. They surprising because I see in January they met or videos to that effect. He was ready to push his date a week forward. Now so Dennis there, he had his own plan together with the three promoters. Drop you know, their date on the same date as his. And in brave or exposing Dennis Akwaaba UK as the engineer behind this whole sabotage. I don't feel wasting my time. Mama I
say only one of the Ghanaian artists who always tries to involve, especially these two promoters in my event every time. And Smade is my witness. You see what I'm saying? And Smade is my witness. So every time when, you know, we all hire from Live Nation, so we put them together, you know, and every time, you know, so we've been in that level of consultation. We do. So it's not like we're ignoring or we do not accord them their respect or the capacity. Not to say that we are not, of course, they got the capacity, but it is not a monopoly.
No, of course.
In that term.
Of course.
Okay, that being said, I am running a tour. I just came back from. Is it not good to announce everything at the same? So that's what we did. Got the dates and even the dates in America, Live Nation and us, they hired the venue. So it's like we get it all together.
You have to work with
and then
them.
We announce. For instance, Kim Promise has announced
tours
as well.
Now.
So guess what? So that was how the announcement came. It's just like you feeling like we should have consulted you before any date in the UK. That notwithstanding, I don't believe that that's how it's supposed to be. Anyway, now the dates are out. Then now, we had a meeting after we find out that you had expressed, which is Mr. Dennis, had expressed a certain level of displeasure to my London manager, which is Casey. Speaking about certain things of that I have disrespected him and so on and so forth. And expressed displeasure among certain other groups of people here in the UK, and then directly to my guy. Fortunately for him, he was in Ghana. Fortunately for me, he was in Ghana, and my guy was in Ghana. January,
Yeah.
So immediately Casey came to my yard and said, "No, bro, but what happened?" And then I'm like, "What's happening?" He came and said, "Yo, this is what Dennis said." He called me on the side. I said, "Yo, bro, Dennis is saying you disrespected him, blah, 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 blah. And, and he just find out you're doing a show too, and he also has a date on that show, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. 10 shows can go on in one day, irrespective."
Yeah, yeah.
I have done
Different
shows.
cultures, absolutely.
I have done shows in Ghana where,
I saw that in
somebody has
December.
that.
King Promise can have on the same day and
Yes,
stuff. Yeah,
and it's
we've
not
seen
like
that.
somebody wants to, put
Yeah.
anybody down. But when we do find out the reason where he himself has expressed, respectfully, his displeasure and the reason why he would do such, and he announced it to my manager, and that's how I called him on the phone and said, "Boss, but is that the
going
issue?
on?
Okay, wherever you are, let me
Vimbas.
meet you. I hear you say you want to what? Punish me." That's the word you use. And I feel like it's out of way to say. So, okay, I want to meet up with you then. Send me your location. I'll meet up with you. If it is that you want to punish me, let's see what it is at least first. Those are his words. I drove with my guys, blah, blah, blah. We had a show that evening.
Yeah.
We ended up canceling one of the appearances that we had to do because we went there. Got there, and then there are videos to that effect. So, Baba, now meet this now.
No
now.
way.
So we got there, we had a meeting. So we chatted. He said, "Oh, it was not let me just let it out over here at once, bro, because the world must know
Yeah,
sometimes."
yeah.
You feel me? So his talk was like a year ago on the same second general, because
Yeah.
the British High Commission does soiree,
Yep, yep.
So a year ago he said I had disrespected him, that way. And I'm like, how? Okay. Me, Stonebwoy, Small God, and a few in the Small God was with me, toe to toe, at that British High Commissioner event. I was having a conversation with the ambassador and a few people. Stonebwoy goes into a
Yes.
space and it's photo sessions, so I hardly
Yeah.
go out. So whilst we were about it, somebody tapped me and, attend. That was another guy we know, Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie says, "Oh, Akwaaba is calling you." Akwaaba says, "Come." But I was speaking with
Two other people.
the ambassador and his
The
people.
High Commissioner.
So I'm like, "Take it easy. Like, that
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know."
yeah.
And then he tried hold me up again to it. Very, very weird and uncomfortable. Small God now my witness now. So even him was like, so we just be like, okay, fine. I felt a certain way. I felt some kind of
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I felt like I was being put to a test to try
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
whether, but I know now.
Yeah.
I know it's your Akwaaba. Yes, let me finish with the ambassador now.
I'll come
We're
and
here
see
now.
you.
We'll come and Frankie, you know that too. So we cut it abrupt because it was becoming awkward. Then me and Small God walked to him. But in that space, when I turned, I saw that he was looking on for the person where he sent.
Sent
say
to
me
come and
go.
touch you.
So in that space, I see he was watching.
Yeah.
That we just left it and went and met. So when we went to him, it became awkward still. I don't remember what he said. Small God is my witness. He was there. He didn't really say
Vimbas.
anything. Just say hi, hi, hey, and then I just moved. So on our way back to face our normal conversation now, me and Small God were saying, but what was the
that?
essence of that one now?
Maybe it was the energy
What
that
was
he
the
saw.
essence of that
Yeah.
one now? And we know, look, people are afraid to say certain things. When it is against Stonebwoy, they come blah, 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 because they know Stonebwoy don't speak. So I'm like, okay. It felt just like, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like a trap to try to see whether I would react. I was just confused about it. So the next day, I messaged Frankie that, bro, that thing you guys put up at the BHC.
So that thing was in your mind.
I was hurt. So I said, that thing you guys put up at the BHC now was not nice now. I have a lot of respect for these people. Yo, I ask anybody who knows what's up to come out any day after they see this podcast and come out to the world and say, Stonebwoy is a bad person. This is what he has done. This is it. This is that. And let's see. I respect everybody, but that was a bit, And small God is my witness. I repeat, right there, he's an industry person too. So we're like, so the next day, I messaged my our top boss, which is Mr. Denda. I said, boss, I don't think what you put up was really, I have to be honest.
So he must have felt disrespected by that message.
Yes,
that
and
you
he
sent.
has the message, I have the message too. I well constructed the message nicely, and I let it out of my chest because I'm not one of those artists who would disrespect anybody openly and take a phone. We have examples of, that.
And go on
Instagram and blah, blah, blah. No, it's respectful. We can speak to each other.
Privately.
Kids, sons speak to fathers.
100%.
Elders. We're in
100%.
I'm saying.
100%.
So that was, and then he in turn replied and said, thank you on that message. I definitely know it felt a little bit because there was no expectation of me expressing myself in that manner. So that was what had happened a year ago. And we had hardly spoken throughout. But within that moment, West Coast came to send a message. He went on a podcast and showed their interest of even having me on the 8th of March or on October 19th.
Yep.
But believe you me, I may have probably read the message and maybe directed him to, because this is Alodia now. He knows Casey lives in UK, Chief and everybody. How to get me, Stonebwoy is not his own manager, of course.
Easy, just speak to the team.
So the things that go over our heads. Even our families sometimes don't get replies.
So many messages we open that we don't respond to. All of us are guilty of it. Nobody can.
So because we have our own plans also. Anyway, that notwithstanding. But also again, for the same Alodia and the team, there have been open discredit to the Stonebwoy brand in several ways. The Stonebwoy brand is not known in the UK. Stonebwoy brand is nobody in the UK, which is on record. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so should you even be engaging this guy that has no for your show at all? Should you? When there have been narratives that is belittling the same brand that you would have used at a point in time, that being in the spot, okay. So that was what he said he was angry about. But nonetheless, immediately I got to know, guess what I did? I called.
You reached out.
I reached out. We had a meeting and we said, okay, fine. It concluded we shook hands, and I even did endorsement for all of the shows that was going to be in that weekend.
Yeah.
That I'm willing, I'm ready. So as I speak to you now, I should have left the UK tomorrow, on the 9th after my show, back to Ghana. But guess what? Because of that talk that we did, I moved my date a week after. I said that even if his goes on the 8th, I'm good. And I'm here in the UK already. I arrived on the 2nd. So she did that happen on the 8th. On the 7th, I'm good. On the 4th, I'm good. On the 3rd, I'm good.
Either way,
should it happen on the 9th, I'm good.
Do yours
However, so this is what we have also, planned. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? Now I've moved to the 15th now because of that understanding that we had. It was a proactive movement from my side.
Hoping that was on the 2nd of January conversation.
Hoping that when they eventually announced
the movement,
we would have prepared already because we know the discussions behind the scene. And then he was like, oh, it was not for any reason that he was actually calling me. He only wanted to thank me for coming to the British High Commission soiree. When he's not the one who invited me, we got, you can't go to the BHC like that. You need to get an invite from them. So that already is like an off-topic situation. But, you give it to the elderly like, it's one of those.
Of course.
It's only when the elderly sometimes don't want to accept the responsibility of also being capable of making steps that can hurt kids. Because even the Bible says that parents check how you deal with your kids
100%.
in Proverbs, and kids check. So
100%.
We're living in a society where I think that if you follow ego too much, we are going to all crash.
Yeah. So this is Stonebwoy for you. Nkrofo Hesi Stonebwoy is being a hypocrite. He's being selfish. He's being childish. So Nkrofo Emia and the Konanso and any show and the same day as Shatta ebe make a surprise appearance. Alodia promotion, West Coast promotion, any Akwaaba UK then is a platform so as well. Well, let us hope and pray say everything would be successful. When that happens, the update. Vimbas TV so.
Vimbas TV.